You initially asked someone else to marry you.
I'm like, I'm not sure. And they're like, well, production wraps today. You better figure it out.
It's kind of a big decision to make by the end of the day.
That's the one thing that every twin mom told me. Get them both on the same schedule, because if you don't, they will alternate all day and night. They decided that it would be really funny to make fun of baby Leslie, and they would say stuff about her being on a stripper pole. The next sentence would be about BJs.
You're like, this is a baby.
Hey, before we get started with the episode, please smash the like button and hit subscribe. I think my voice just cracked, but please, it would really help us out if you guys would do that. Let's get on with the episode.
What's up, dudes?
And welcome back to the Unplanned podcast. We've got Lauren and Arie Lauren. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We actually met you guys through our friends Down and Bella, which is crazy. I'm just now realizing
now realizing I've been thinking your last name was pronounced wrong this whole time. I was like,
most people do.
Yeah, it's a tough.
Lauren and Arie, they met on The Bachelor. They're entrepreneurs. They just came out with a dating or a dates app, which is super cool. They're just like, they're doing a lot of cool stuff. There's also content creators on social media. So I'm really excited for this interview. And
Realtor? Yep,
realtor.
I was your realtor.
Yes, you were Arie was our realtor. So you guys are keeping yourselves busy, and you guys have 3 kids. Mm-hmm. That's
honestly,
insane.
I do not know how you guys do it now that I think about it.
You just figure it out.
Yeah.
As you go.
Oh my
I
gosh.
would need a lot of naps.
It's funny, like we start off most episodes asking the couples on the podcast with us like how they met, and you guys have the most unique how you met story like ever. Like how many people do you know, Abby, that met like on TV? Like
actually,
doing
one
a
other
show?
couple. We met a couple that got married at first sight.
Actually, yeah, you're right. We did meet a couple, but
That's crazy.
yeah,
That is crazy.
You guys are like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
they were on
Coming
Married at
from
First
us,
Sight.
that's got to be really
We're
crazy.
still married. It's been like 8 years. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good
That's
for them.
incredible.
But that's like the crazy part about you guys is you guys are happily married, like have 3 children, like I don't know. It's crazy that I don't know. When I thought about The Bachelor, I was like, oh yeah, none of those couples work out, but like you guys clearly did work out. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think we are rare.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just looked today because there's like a post that came up because a couple broke up, and I think there's 5 of 25 seasons of
Holy
The
crap.
Bachelor.
25.
Yeah, because there's a lot of spin-offs. There's The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
I told Matt, I said I don't think those count because
There's
they're
Paradise.
the odds of because then there's like the same amount of girls as boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on Paradise.
Paradise.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
yours is more impressive.
Yeah. Does that feel like it was another lifetime ago? Like that whole thing?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, our reality's so different from the show now, so it's kind of weird to even think we were ever there.
Did
Yeah,
you guys
but-
know each other before the show, or did you like meet on the show?
We met before the show.
Oh, you
Wait,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
It wasn't
But we
like
didn't really know each other.
right. We just met at the racetrack and took a picture together. And I was dating somebody at the time. We had no idea that I was going to be the Bachelor. I had no idea she didn't know
I
that
didn't
she
know
was
I
going
was
on
going
the
to be on the
show.
show.
And then what was it, like 6 months later?
I think it was
Something
only
like
3 months later. Yeah, so
Yeah.
3 months later, he had been removed from the show for 5 years. And then I went to a casting randomly because my friends talked me into it. And
Okay.
they were like, you're going to be on the show. Watch Good Morning America to find out who the Bachelor is. So I'm watching Good Morning America, and then he walks out. And it was just like the
Wow.
craziest
Whoa.
coincidence because
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be one of the guys from the season before.
Whoa.
And then it just happened to be the guy I met.
Yeah. How were you
Yeah.
the Bachelor 5 years later?
I don't even really know, to be honest. I feel like what happened was there was a producer in the house who I really clicked with, and he became the executive producer. And he'd always been trying, like, lobbying for me to be the Bachelor. And he's like, hey, if I ever become the EP, like, you're the guy. And so I don't know, like, what exactly happened behind the scenes, but there was this other front runner. His name was Peter. And there was some sort of controversy over a contract. And last minute, I would say 2 weeks before filming, they dropped him, and then they put me
2
in.
weeks.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So none of the women that were cast were actually cast for me.
Whoa.
So that kind of was,
Wait, you don't think I was cast for you? I guess I wasn't.
you weren't cast for me.
Whoa.
Weird. I
Yeah.
never realized that.
So they gave me like a lot of insecurity going into it because I was like,
Nobody.
none of these women are actually like have been interviewed for me to be their potential mate, you know?
There was one girl that was
One
cast
girl-
for him, though.
Yeah, true.
And that was baby Becca. She was 22 years old. They wanted to have that huge age gap.
Yeah,
She was the one that was cast.
They did.
Wait,
she was
'cause-
the only one last minute cast.
Wait, how old were you on the show when?
I was 36, I think.
Okay.
So that was a big age gap. And that's not like what you lead with when you meet someone. You're not
Yeah.
like, hey, how old are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you just
well,
assume that everyone's going to be sort of in your age range
Yeah.
that's on the show.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make that a thing. So she kind of withheld her age until we were
Oh, it
on
was
a
a
date.
surprise.
Yeah. I was like, I'm really feeling this. And she's like, by the way, I'm 22. And I was like, wow.
How did that make you feel?
Old.
Can I tell you guys a secret? So right after Abby had Griffin, we were in Flagstaff, and we were just like, we didn't have a lot going on. We're like, what like TV should we watch right now? And we're like, wait a second. We're like, we gotta watch Lauren and Arie season.
I
So
made Matt
cringy.
promise to never tell you guys that.
I'm so sorry. Did I actually promise that?
Yeah, I'm gonna fight about you that in the car
Oh
now.
my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We did watch the season.
Oh my gosh.
Cringe.
I'm sorry.
No, I think it's crazy. Like that experience, like knowing you guys so many years. I mean, how many years ago was that?
5 or 6 years now?
It's like you'd never
5.
guess that was like how you guys met.
I know, it's so
Yeah.
wild.
Love.
Yeah,
It's
weird.
crazy. It's
That
really cool.
that first night, I was like a mess. Like I was so nervous. Someone asked me what I'm excited about, and I said excitement.
It's gonna be good.
Okay,
Terrible.
Reality TV scares the crap out of me because anything and everything you say will be used against you or could be used against you. And it's
Totally.
like, it's so reassuring, like knowing like when we do social media, if we say something stupid, we'll just like cut it out of our video.
Yeah.
But like you
So
guys,
many things
you,
get cut
you essentially sign your life away, right? When you're on a show, like you've signed all this paperwork where anything you say on camera, like you can't keep them from posting that. Like they're going to put it in the episode, especially if it's something crazy that they can use to get more viewership or build controversy or just make a more entertaining show, right?
Right.
I've been on stuff where I'm like, oh man, they edited that so cool. Like I'm glad they did that, or you know, how they did that was so like awesome. And then I've been on like The Bachelor where I'm like, wow, well they really did me no favors there, you know, because it's like it's interesting like where you fit in reality TV. It's all about like a storyline. So like if you're the good guy or like the runner up or like somebody to root for, you're just gonna get this like magical edit. But if you're villainized or if you're
Or if they're trying to hide something.
yeah, it's interesting. Like as soon as we got together post show, the editing changed. It was like episode 3 or 4. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is looking dark. Remember that?
I don't really remember.
I do. Clearly. I was like, it was like because they edit sort of, they finish the season and then they start editing everything. So they don't edit as they go.
Really?
They have
So-
to see how it ends so that they can tailor it to
That's good storytelling,
what they want
though.
people to
Yeah,
know.
I mean, like that's cool. You want to begin with the end in mind and like tell that narrative, but then that's also scary for you guys. 'Cause you're like, I don't know how the frick I'm going to be depicted on this show. So,
Yeah.
that is so crazy. Are they okay when you're on the show? Like, no phones? I'm guessing. Like, can you even check email? Can you scroll on the internet? Like,
No,
That's gonna mess
Nothing.
with your mind.
At
Yeah,
first,
you're just hyper focused on your
Yeah.
relationship.
yeah. At first, it sort of gives you anxiety, but then it's actually really nice.
I know, I didn't want my phone back.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they set me free in the airport to go home at the end and I was like lost. I didn't even know what to do.
whoa.
You're so like in tune with conversations. You're like very, I don't know, like interesting. Like you're self-aware. I think you're just in the moment. And then when you get home and you get back on your phone, you sort of lose that. So it is kind of an interesting experiment.
Yeah, what was the gap between like the show being filmed and then like when it was aired?
It was like a month.
Yeah,
And
little
did you
over
have
a
to
month.
like hide? Wait, really?
Yeah, it was cool. They fly you to like an Airbnb. Like one car picks you up. You know, they keep us separate, and then they have somebody in the house, and they kind of watch you, and then
Wait, there's someone in the house like
at first
Well, they come
monitoring
and meet
you?
you there.
meet you there,
They
and then
bring
they're
you
like,
food.
They order your food. They
It's
text
kind
you.
of like a honeymoon.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to leave the house. Even though we did.
You can't. You can't leave the house.
You can't
No.
leave the house, but
Wait,
we
where
did.
do they keep you?
In an Airbnb.
Yeah, an
But, like,
Airbnb.
Which state
In
were you
Scottsdale?
in?
In LA.
No, LA.
You were in LA.
Oh.
So we would meet in like a mutual location so no one could see where we were going.
So then your family knew that they had to know at that
Yeah.
point. Wow.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
cool.
what was that like for you though? Because you got cast for another guy.
I want to ask
So-
what
I
the
didn't
casting
even know
was
that
like.
till just now.
Oh yeah. Wait, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't even really
She didn't
think
think about
it.
the timeline, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
no one's really. Now I'm convinced that no one's really cast for anyone.
Really?
I feel like they're just cast for who they are and making good TV. Like I always thought, like there's a head of casting. Her name's Lacey, and I was like, Lacey's gonna match me with somebody because she knows me.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait a second, I don't think they really care.
They just
No,
want
yeah,
good
it's
personalities.
just about good TV.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's about who's gonna make good TV.
But then how did okay, here's my question though. If people aren't cast for a specific person, then all these girls going on The Bachelor, like why did they randomly all decide they like this guy, you know? Like, how does that happen?
I think it's just like this competitive angle. It's
Really?
like you're a hot commodity, so like everyone just wants that one guy. He's the only guy there. It's like the
Wow.
last man on earth, you know?
Wow. Yeah. And you don't have your phones and like, are they, I don't know. I just envision them like pushing alcohol all the time on people like, hey, you want a drink? Like, is that a thing too? Or no? Like,
I mean, they're always offering, that's for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say they're like pushing it on you though.
okay. Gotcha.
They're like, hey, do you want a glass of wine? We're going to go do an interview. I'm like, yes, please. Maybe 3.
What was the casting like for that?
It was so
Wait, it was a live.
simple.
It wasn't like online or anything.
No, I had just moved to Dallas, and my friends all lived in Virginia, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna be in your city. Go over there and check it out. Let us know what it's like."
It was in Dallas.
Yeah, so I like went to the building, expecting there to be a line around the building, and there were a total of like 30 people inside. And there were girls dressed up in costumes. There were people doing some wild stuff in there. And I just came in like after work one day and I was like, hey, I'm here.
Was anyone else from your casting like cast for the show actually?
I don't know. There was one other girl from Dallas. I don't know if she was there with me or not, but
Well, you went through casting too, then obviously for.
Actually, no. So I had like randomly, I'd never been on TV. I'd done like some small little cameos as a racing driver because that's what I did before reality TV. And I had actually dated somebody who was in local news when I was like 20, and she ended up becoming a producer for The Bachelor. And I had just randomly ran into her at a coffee shop, and she said, "Oh, hey, it's been so long." I'm like, "Oh, what do you do now?" She's like, "Oh, I'm a producer for The Bachelor." And I was like, "Well, I'm single, so if you need me." It was kind of like joking. And then she called me a couple weeks later and was like, "Hey, do you want to be on Bachelorette?" And I was like, "Sure, let's do it." So it was really cool actually because it was so like by chance, you know?
Yeah, like
was
organic,
interesting.
I
His
guess.
ex-girlfriend.
I'd never watched the show. Yeah, I know. And
You've dated so many girls.
Listen, the
Dated
ex-girlfriend.
everyone.
So this became like a thing in the show. The ex-girlfriend was the Bachelorette's like producer that was with her every day. So it was really kind of weird because I was like, does she know? Does she not know? And it turned out she didn't know. And that pretty much, you know,
Do you think that was done on purpose?
oh yes. It
They're like,
became
you
part of the
have to
show.
be with her. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, but anyways, that's a long story. But that was like, that's how I got on the show. It was just kind of interesting. And I had never seen the show before. So I like walked into this house and, you know, I'm like, I'm not the fittest guy. I'm just like average dude. You know what I mean? These guys are doing like push-ups and like tanned up, you know, like not eating any carbs. And I'm like in the corner, like drinking cappuccinos and
I
eating
feel
chocolate.
like the Bachelorette vibe has to be totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just like a bunch of meatheads, you know, just like,
That's so funny.
and they were all scared to talk to her too, which is so funny. And that was like the one thing I wasn't scared of.
Why?
I don't know. They were like nervous
I would
because
think
of
they'd
like,
be really excited to talk to her.
I think when you go on a show, a lot of people, the casting process could be months. And so this is like this huge anticipation. And then you get there and there's all these cameras and then people are like a little like, you know?
Yeah.
And I had just gotten asked like a week ago and I fly in.
Yeah, you
and
didn't
I'm
have
just
all
like,
the
what's
time.
all this? Cool. You know? So,
Yeah.
But like, okay, the show, I remember Abby would want to watch The Bachelor with me back in like college. And I was like, I don't know. It just seems kind of like scripted or like, it seems like they're, I don't know, like things are made up. But like, is there anything scripted at all? Or is it all just like actually what's happening? You know, I'm so curious, like how much is
Yeah, you can
curated
answer.
for TV?
Well, I think Arie and I have talked about this. We think that there's just so much content to work with that they can really make it look however they want.
Okay.
But also on his side of things, they do have like certain things that he needs to say as the Bachelor, but as the contestants, there's nothing that's scripted.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they do tell you like, say this. Like
I think the contestants' experience is a lot different than the lead. The lead is almost like a place marker. You could put anyone in there, and they just build this narrative where it's like, okay, you're gonna walk into this room, and your wife could be in that room, and then they're talking to you essentially like how they want you to talk. You know what I mean? So you begin to be in this sort of world where they're like, okay, we really want to make them feel comfortable, so you should give them some confidence and say these things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
so-
forgot about that. They
so
do inspire
They
you
inspire you.
to do certain things.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that not like crazy? Like, It was weird. Okay, we watched the season. It was weird seeing you like kiss other people because I'm like in my mind I'm like Arie's married, but like we're back in time. We're back in time. I'm seeing you like make out with all these girls, and I'm like, is that like what is that like when you're the Bachelor?
Just make
Matt
out with all the
genuinely
girls.
wants to know.
I'm sorry. I
What
just
is
want to
that
know.
like, man? It's, I mean, at
was
first,
single.
okay, at
I
first,
mean, you're single. Yeah, you're single. So
okay,
like,
as single guy, at first, it's like so cool. You're like, this is like pretty rad, right?
it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Like I basically, this is like a cool experience. But
Yeah.
then you're like, wait, I gotta break up with like 5 women on the,
gosh.
then another 2. Then every day you're breaking up with somebody. So then
Yeah.
it's like a little taxing because you're like, I don't want to be unemotional because it
Yeah.
gets a little bit like. So I don't know. It
I mean,
feels
you're
weird.
essentially
It's-
like dating like 20 women at the same time, right?
It
Like,
sounds amazing, but it's not that great.
Well, yeah, that would be. I would throw up every time thinking about like having to like someone's gonna cry in front of you, and you're
Yeah.
just like,
Every
or
day.
just like thinking
Well-
about kissing someone that you don't want to kiss.
Oh,
Like, how do you get out of that?
yes. The
we
first
wouldn't
night.
know. We've only kissed each other actually.
we've literally only kissed each other.
What?
Literally.
That's so cute.
That is really
We started
cute.
dating in
really
high
sweet.
school, simpler time.
Oh, I love that. I do.
That's amazing.
Arie's like,
Quite the contrast.
He's gone around a lot.
Hey, come on. It was my job. I'm just joking.
It was your job. It's my job to kiss all these women. I guess I'll do it. I don't know.
but that's the difference. We were like 17 when we met.
Yeah.
And how old were you guys on the show?
I was
36.
25 when I got on the show.
Oh yeah, that was a big question, like the age gap. I'm sure people
Yeah.
you do get sick of talking about that, or
No,
It doesn't really come out.
I don't think it really affects us much.
Yeah.
He's
The
very
only time.
immature.
True.
He's very immature.
you just seem very young.
I think it's more like the only time it really gets in the way is when we talk about like music or movies or something. She's
Oh
like,
gosh.
Oh my
He'll be like,
gosh.
you know that movie? Everyone knows it. I'm like, absolutely never heard of it.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
wasn't alive.
Basically.
Wait, is it 10 years, 11 years? How?
10.
it's 10, yeah, but
Okay.
like sometimes we cross into that 11.
Oh, really?
You know, because I was
Just,
born
couple
September.
months.
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
months. you know?
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think it really. That was a big thing on the show, the age gap,
Yeah. Not for us though.
but not for us. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
not
they
like
were
you're sitting
younger.
there talking
Closer
about
than the
your
other
age.
ones.
I mean, wasn't that what made you like unique? Was like this is the oldest Bachelor we've
Yeah.
ever had.
Oh, you were the oldest bachelor.
Well, that was a-
Elderly bachelor.
I was like, that is actually not true because Nick Vial was a year older than me when he was a bachelor, but he just
What?
looks younger than me because he doesn't
Oh.
have gray hair.
Oh, so you had gray hair, so they're like, oh, this Bachelor.
Exactly.
It was a lie.
I know. 2 years before that, he was a year older than me when he was bachelor. So whatever.
How
I
old
don't
was
know.
he when he was bachelor?
30. He was 36, but I was 35 when we started filming, and then I turned 36.
Okay.
So he's like 6 months or whatever.
And seeing Arie, or I guess, are you even seeing him kiss the other girls or no? Because you're like, we're
No,
watching it
I
on
was.
TV.
Yeah,
So,
I was.
oh, you,
Yeah, I was
where,
seeing
how are
it.
you seeing him kiss other girls then if you're not like getting to see the episode, right? Because we're watching the TV show, seeing all these different
Oh,
like
she's seeing it
makeouts
live.
happen.
No, I was there. Like,
Oh,
it's
you're
not-
seeing it
Is
live?
that what you mean?
I'm
Wait.
confused by your question also.
Wait. There's other girls in the room while you're making out?
yeah.
Yeah,
What?
we're all at the same house
What?
in the beginning.
We'll be like,
did
over
you not
there
see
on the
the
couch.
season?
They
you
were
know?
all coaching me on how to make a move on him.
I'm sure it's not weird then because you didn't know then that you were going
No.
to marry him and no one else knew that you were
None
gonna
of us
marry
really
him.
even knew him at that point.
Yeah.
We're all like all these girls stuck in the house together. So it's just like a big sorority. And all of us are just having the best time with each other.
Uh-huh.
And then we're like, oh yeah, this guy's here. Like we're all dating him. Cool. Like, it's just like the second thought.
Yeah.
Living with that many girls,
For
was
the
it
beginning.
like as much drama as you would anticipate, or were you guys like
No.
friends?
No, I think the house was kind of divided in two different groups. But for the most part, we were all friends. I wouldn't say we had any drama though.
It's good.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just so fascinated by this. This is just like great, especially because like we've only like been with each other. So then I'm like, man, we might
Matt's
both.
like, that sounds like so much fun.
We both might suck at kissing. We just have no idea. Like you guys are probably great at kissing. You've like kissed so many people, but we have
Only
not.
Arie, not me.
Hey, come on.
Hey,
You're not that innocent.
Well,
I think-
in comparison, I'm an angel.
an angel.
Okay.
So I think like okay, craziest part of the show is again seeing in retrospect you guys together, and then end of the show comes, and I had heard I think like either Abby told me or Bella told me or somebody, I heard through the grapevine that essentially you initially asked someone else to marry you. And so when that's happening, I'm like yelling at the TV, like, Arie, don't do it. Like, what do you do? And like, so I guess what was it like to have something so personal on TV? And again, you don't have any control of what gets posted. You don't have any control of what makes it in the episode. Like, what was that like to have just everything and you can't
For both
control it?
of you, I
Yeah, for
guess.
both of you guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, control is like, that's the hardest part, is like, you don't control the order of like the fantasy suite dates. You control who goes on dates, but you know, I can't give her every date. I got to also date other women as part of the show.
He actually gave me 2 one-on-one dates 2 weeks in a row, and no one had ever had that.
Yeah, true. So there's like, you know, I wish there was more control and obviously time. Like my thing is like, I'm not sure. And they're like, well, production wraps today, boy, you better figure it out. You know what I mean? So,
And
I feel like it's kind of a big decision to make, right? By the end of the day.
right. And we were all like sick. It was like, we all got sick off whatever food they were feeding us over there. And so it was just like the last week was just like obviously a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you that may not know, Arie proposed
I did.
to a girl that was not Lauren. What was the time gap between? Wait,
Coming back to
I
her?
don't remember the show as well right now. Like, how did the show end? And it was like you guys were gonna get married, or how did it resolve?
No,
like,
I think like in the show they build in to where you see the proposal and then
Oh,
they
you
have
see you change
and they
your
have
mind.
Arie in like real time. We weren't watching in real time. It was like you in real time and
Yeah.
then you're with like Lauren, right? And it's like, okay, this is actually what happened, and they like play back all the.
We've actually
Everything.
never seen the ending, so
You-
we
Yeah,
don't
we
know
never
what it looks
watched
No
it.
way. So you just
Oh.
didn't watch it because you're just like, you know what,
Too close
been
to
there.
home.
Don't.
Yeah.
We
not
were
Too
still in
traumatized.
it, you know, at that point. We had to go on after the final rose, and everyone had just watched the ending. So we mentally just couldn't handle watching it and then going on to
Oh
talk
my
about
gosh.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad. I knew it was going to be bad, but it was really bad. As
It
far
was
as
worse
like,
than we thought that it would be.
Like, how
Yeah.
so?
Well, I think like, you know, obviously you make that call, you know, obviously you don't feel good about what you did. You know, you're like, shoot, I shouldn't have made that decision, or I need more time, or why did I do that? And I think the biggest thing is like, when I was like, nope, I'm going to call Lauren. I'm going to see if I can work it out with her. Then I like clued production in on it. And that was I thought that would be good for us because I thought they could help tell a story, and it just kind of backfired really.
Yeah, it turned into the story being about the next season, like propelling it into being successful rather than highlighting the story that was already there, you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
they kind of pitched it as like, we're gonna romanticize this. Like, she was a person you were always supposed to be with, so we're gonna watch you run back to her, and then it's gonna let people know like why
Yeah.
you made the decision.
Yeah.
And then they kind of cut all that out, and then they just like aired like a super long breakup scene.
Yeah.
And then it was like cut to Lauren, and now we're together, and people were just like, what?
Really
Yeah.
confused, yeah.
They're like, what? You know?
Yeah.
So I think they kind of, in hindsight, we should have just done that all privately.
Yeah. And so it could have been like you ended up with Becca on the show, and then people end up finding out, oh, he actually ended up with Lauren, and
I
and
don't
it's not
know.
on the show.
Yeah.
Because I like watching that, I felt bad for you. I was like, this sucks to where like he has no control over what they're pushing out. They're gonna just tell the narrative that makes them the most money and boost the viewership. And they did a great job. They really did. I mean, like
Yeah,
on
probably.
their end, like they're like, yeah, like screw Arie, let's just do whatever's gonna get us more views. And so I was like, dang, that sucks. But I was also like so glad that even though it, you know, you guys went through all that, like I was like happy that you made the decision in your heart that you knew it was right, and now like you guys are so happy and have 3 kids.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
it's honestly okay. You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad that it happened that way.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
worked out, and
I think it really like bonded us because we had this us versus the world mentality. And it just, you know, I think it would have been different. Let's say I picked Lauren off of the bat. I don't know if we would have had that bond together, because we're like, no, we gotta stick together. It's
Yeah.
like everyone's doesn't really know our story, but we're gonna show them because we love each other so much.
Because you got a lot of backlash after.
Yeah. So we're like, we're just
Yeah.
gonna.
You did too?
oh yeah, I was a homewrecker.
Oh, what?
That's crazy.
I hate that.
The crazy thing is, like, people don't understand that he was never with her that time between when filming wrapped and when it aired. Like, they're not living in the same state together. They're doing what we did only like 1 or 2 times, I think. They saw each other for like a weekend, but they're not together. And I think people see it as like, oh, they're engaged, they're together doing everyday life, and then you just came in and ruined it.
Yeah.
But it's not like that.
And when like you, because here's what made me so mad is like, of course they do this for TV. Of course they're trying to like get the views on TV. They make you like go to the spot as if like you think you're getting proposed to, and then they make Arie like tell you in that like super like romantic spot, which looks like it's proposal scene, and just like
that's how they do it every season,
and breaks your heart. Which I've only watched. That was the only season of Bachelor I've actually watched all the way through. I just would like sneak in when I was like 8 years old. I'd like watch my mom watching The Bachelor. Like
8 years old.
Little Matt.
How long have you been doing this?
I watched The Bachelor
Like
with my mom here and there.
You've been doing
years?
it 20-something years.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
this show has been going on for a while. But no, yeah, you get to that spot. Like, did you think you were getting proposed to right then?
I feel like, I don't know. It was
That's
so
making
hard.
me sick to my stomach
At
to
that
even
point,
think about that.
I would like the week leading up to it, I just had this bad feeling about it. And then the day of, I think I'd convinced myself that it was me. And I had to, I had to go give this speech spilling my guts out. So I can't go into it being like, oh, it's probably not me, but still say all of that,
Yeah.
The worst part was like I was kind of waiting for Lauren to say some stuff to give me some reassurance. For some reason, she was always like kind of like a unicorn to me. Like she was like so beautiful and like, but I never really was like, she's so into me. Like I never felt like she is, we're gonna be life partners.
Yeah.
Because I was missing a couple like things for her to say, and when she walked down, the everything had already been in motion. Ring had been picked. We know who first is. We know who second is. Like so, when she walks down and she delivers that speech, I'm like, this is everything I've ever wanted to hear from her. And I was like, I knew at that moment that I was in the wrong, but I felt like the huge pressure of The Bachelor and production and 300 people there, and everything is like it's too late for me to do anything, But I knew kind of in that moment, like as soon as I walked away, I was like, I made a mistake. And I actually, even on the show, I said I closed the door and I said I love you. I didn't even realize, realize I did that. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of wild.
I can't imagine that pressure. And the producers, are they trying to like steer you down a certain path? Are they like, oh, hey, you should kick this girl off, but this girl you should keep her on? And they're like, they want to keep like the mean girl on to keep the show, keep the drama going, keep it more interesting.
I feel like in the beginning and the middle of the show, they definitely have personalities that they want to keep on. Like they were like, hey, if you keep Crystal on another week, then you can bring another girl to Paris, or
wow.
I'm like, okay.
Are you kidding me?
But then towards the end, they really do want you to make the decision that's best for yourself.
Yeah.
But I think that you're doing these interviews and they're like always highlighting the good things about somebody, like why they would make a good fit for you. And it was always sort of this thing where like Lauren, they were like, I remember this one comment, still kills me. They're like, Lauren's like the Ferrari, dude. She's like, I know you love fast cars, but like she's not a car you drive every day. She's like and I'm like, and Becca's like the dependable minivan, like something that you can just like
What is
like,
this?
I kind of feel like this is different
They're
from
like,
cars.
okay,
but-
I'm like, I'm a car guy. I appreciate the analogy.
They tried.
They're like, this guy's a race car driver. We got to relate to him.
you gotta get to it.
They're like, how can we make them
I'm
understand?
still dead about that. It was this camera guy.
Did you feel like you were like, I don't want to use the word slave, but did you almost feel like you can't really leave? You can't, you're stuck in wherever they have you. You can't, like when you're in these different countries, I'm sure you can't just go explore if you want to explore.
Oh, no.
Right? Mm-hmm. They own you. The time you're there, they own you. They tell you what to do. You have to be up at this time, right? Like, did you almost feel like you were a slave to The Bachelor? I don't want to use like dramatic words, but
yeah. I mean, you definitely feel like you're in captivity. I mean, you're their biggest asset. They can't just have you going out in town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have a phone.
Yeah.
You don't have money. They control everything. They control.
We don't even know what time it is.
We don't know what time it is.
What?
No.
I mean,
You don't have a watch?
No.
You can't have a watch.
you can have a watch, but like,
They don't tell us what time it is.
I mean, you ask them what time it is,
So
and there's some
wild.
resistance. Like, what time is it right now? Oh, it's late. They won't even tell you what time it is.
You're kidding.
Like, when's the last
Well,
time I ate? Just tell me.
Like,
I feel like it was
what
6
day
hours
is it?
ago. I don't know.
That's
I just
crazy.
remember in the house, like, we would be up till, I don't even know, like 3 a.m. I didn't know what time it was, obviously. So I had no idea, but we were up super late. And I just remember when it was time to wake up, the lights were just like fluorescent and they would just turn on all of a sudden. And I'm on this, like, probably a bunk bed, like this small. I fell off the top of it one time. It's just like, yeah, it was just like an experience.
I feel like
But it was still fun. Like, I appreciated the whole thing. I didn't feel like a slave. Maybe he did, but
Oh yeah.
it was like I felt like
I got used to it. It was
You're
kinda
more
like,
controlled, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think any reality TV, they did this in Traitors too. I feel like they keep you tired. You know, they feed you obviously, but like I feel like keeping you tired, you know, hits your like emotional side. So that if you're tired and you're hungry and it's been days of filming, and it's like you start breaking down about the littlest things and they
Yeah.
love it. You know what I mean? They're like, yes.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say it must not have been too bad of an experience because you've done reality TV since. I don't know. Have you done any reality TV since?
Not more than just like an episode here and there.
Okay.
But I haven't done like an actual full show.
Oh, like on what episodes?
What did we do? We did. What was that one called? With
The Long Island Medium.
Long Island.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Whoa.
I'd be
Did
too
she-
scared to do that.
Did she actually
It
like
was-
figure
it was
stuff out
cool.
about you guys that like?
She did, yeah. She was a little bit more in tune with me, and I was bummed because Lauren really wanted to go. She was like the one that's like, come on. I'm like, I know I'm a skeptic, but I feel like she like singles out the skeptics, you know?
Well, it was
You're
even
kidding.
some of the stuff did apply to me.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to go see if she could talk to my grandpa,
Whoa.
and she described him perfectly. It was so weird. She's like, "Is your daughter's room in your house normally colder than the rest of the rooms?"
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "It's because your grandpa's watching over her."
I would be
Yeah.
way too scared to go.
Okay.
She,
It gave me chills. I was like,
her
"Whoa."
daughter DM'd us and was like, "Oh, your twins are boy girl."
Yeah. She's
Before
like,
we
my mom
knew.
said they were.
My mom said they were. Your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, her daughter DM'd us. Oh, by the way, if you want to know your genders, here they are.
Wait, we actually had
It was not a medium. It was a psychic, or what? How do they describe themselves? Somebody on a brand trip that we were on was like, I think they were someone. I don't know if they were someone's +1 or if they were just on the trip too. But we were just like in a conversation, and
I
she
was
said that
pregnant with
she.
Griffin.
Yeah, I was pregnant with Griffin, and she's like, he's gonna have blue eyes, and we're like,
she's like, he's a boy and he's gonna have blue eyes.
yeah, and we're like,
I mean, blue eyes.
I'm like,
he has
look, dude, like
brown
I
eyes.
got dark
green
brown eyes. Like these are really dark brown eyes, and Abby has
has blue
green eyes. So
eyes.
like, our kid's not
Wild.
gonna have blue eyes. Griffin has freaking blue eyes.
That's so crazy.
Unless they
right?
change.
That is so weird.
Hey, real quick, if you haven't already hit the like button and subscribe, please do that right now. It would really mean the world to us. It actually helps us out a ton. It tells the algorithm to push this episode out to more people. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe. Thanks for doing it. Okay, now back to the episode. So you go on a show with the Long Island Medium. What's another one too? This is like so fascinating. So
House hunters?
Yeah, we were both on that one.
House hunters.
But
So-
it was mostly about him.
Real
but
estate.
We were both on
and
it.
you guys were looking for a house, or you guys
No,
were?
I was the realtor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
What's another one?
I feel like we've done random ones.
We're doing one for ABC. It's called
Yeah.
the Game Show. It's actually out in like a couple weeks.
I'm excited
Whoa.
to see that one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a whole like docuseries about like finding love on TV and like where it started versus where it is now. It's kind of
Whoa.
about all the different series that ABC's come out with. So that was pretty cool. We did that. Lauren cried.
What else have we done? I always cry.
That's cool.
What else did we do?
We
Did they
went on
pay
Bachelor
you?
in Paradise one time.
Yeah, we went to like Listen to Your Heart. Have you ever heard
Oh
of that?
yeah, and Listen to Your Heart.
It was only
for
one
Bachelor.
season. It was kind of a mix between The Voice and The Bachelor. It's pretty bad.
The Voice and The Bachelor?
Yeah.
It was like a mix between the two.
Watch me go find all these
We're gonna
episodes.
go. We're gonna go. Now we're gonna go binge all your TV shows. So.
No, it's okay.
Kind of a lot.
Are they paying you for these, or do they just like? Do you just get? Yeah. Do they
Yeah, a
pay you?
little bit.
Oh, they do.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It depends. But yeah.
Yeah, it depends.
Because I saw like some TikTok pull up the other day of someone who was like, I got into debt to be on The Bachelor. Like they bought all these clothes for the show.
Oh, I could
And
see
then they
that.
didn't go.
And I guess that they went on the show, but like they spent like everything they had to basically buy a wardrobe for the
Yeah.
show. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, the contestants aren't paid. Only the lead is.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
really
You have to
interesting.
take off work for all that time. And just...
My boss was like, "You have to go."
That's
He's like,
cool.
"Your job will be here when you get back."
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's nice.
Yeah.
And then you ended up being gone a very long time.
Yeah, I was gone the whole time, and then I came back, and I just couldn't work anymore.
You're like,
I was like, I tried it for like, I don't even know,
Yeah,
a week.
couple weeks.
Couple
maybe.
weeks.
what were you doing at the time?
I was doing technology sales, so I was
Oh.
like going into office buildings and talking to people, but it was just like too weird.
You're like, thanks for holding
My face was
job."
out there, so like a lot of people were
Yeah.
asking me like
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened, and then I'd go
Yeah.
cry in the bathroom because he had just broken up with me. It was just like,
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so sad.
but I couldn't talk about it
Oh.
for
That's so
ever.
Gosh, yeah. That would be
Sorry.
so
Sorry, man.
I've forgiven you. It's okay.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long
and
time.
since then, now you've grown a family.
Yes.
I can't even believe you
We're
guys.
good at that.
Yeah, you got twins.
Oh, we are done.
You're done having. Yeah, Matt asked me the other day. He was like, "Do you think they're having more kids?" I was like, "No." Did you see their YouTube video?
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
doing
no.
it anymore.
The vasectomy video.
Oh, you guys posted a vasectomy
It's
video?
recommended to me, actually.
Really? They're like, you need this.
It was an
We
iconic
legit almost
thumbnail.
filmed inside the room, but I were like, too close.
Oh my god. That is hilarious. Was
Yeah.
that painful? I heard
Yes.
Oh, really?
It was very painful.
Well, okay, not
Frick.
for everyone though, just for Arie.
Yeah, I have like some, of like what is it called? Resistance to lidocaine, so it doesn't really work on me. So
Why do I kind of feel like I do?
I felt everything.
No.
Yeah, Lauren was in the room with me.
We,
It was just hilarious.
like, funny enough, did a test where it tells you like things that you might have genetically going on with you, and it said that lidocaine probably won't work for him, and we just
Freak.
forgot,
Yeah.
and he went and did that.
Is that what they use like
Freak.
after birth when they're giving you stitches, lidocaine?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because my doctor's like, I think there's something wrong because I've given you as much as you could have. I was like, I can feel everything, ma'am. And she was like, I don't think you're tolerant. Like, I don't think that it's working.
Yeah.
I think it is lidocaine.
Did you have an
Local.
epidural?
It's called. What is it?
Yeah, but it wore off before I pushed.
Oh,
Not
dang.
all the way, but it was just a bad situation at
Aw.
the end. But yeah, I was like,
I
I was like, I know that you're putting a stitch in right now, and now you're out. And she's
Oh,
like, I think
no.
that it's not working because she's like, have you gone to the dentist and like, is that what they use at the dentist, lidocaine?
Huh. Normally, I think.
I'm like talking about myself now.
Ari,
I think I have the same thing.
so I realized you mentioned while we were talking that you were a race car driver, and I totally forgot about that. Are you like, do you race at all anymore? Like, how long did you do that for?
No, not really. I did it for 20 years. Like
Okay.
I'm
That's a long time.
I know. I'm 41. 41. And so like my whole life was that. You know, I as a kid, I would go to the racetrack with my dad, and I was like, that's all I wanted to do. So I did it for a long time. And when we first got together, I was still racing. So we went to Australia. We got to go all over the place and race a little
Wow.
bit. But ever since I had kids, it's just like not the priority, you know?
Yeah.
I was a professional until 2008, until the real estate crash. And then ever since '08, it's more been like a race here and there for fun. But it's not my actual profession.
Gotcha. But for a while, it was like your full-time thing. Like, that was how you
Yeah.
made an income, was like racing cars.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That is dope.
That was cool.
That is really cool.
I raced in the Indy 500, and so I checked off a
Wait,
lot of
what? The Indy 500?
Yeah,
I know. I don't even like watch NASCAR or anything, but I know what that is.
Yeah, so the Indy 500 was probably like the biggest race I did. My dad won it twice, so he's like the legend over there.
Your dad was a race car driver?
Yeah,
Whoa, that's dope.
yeah. So, but yeah, so now it's just like another lifetime. You know?
How sick would that be if one of your kids like ends up racing cars?
I
And you
have a
like this-
feeling. I have a feeling that Senna will be.
It's gonna be Senna.
Really?
She
Yeah.
loves
She's
watching
so good at
racing with me,
driving.
and she's like, she'll get on like a little. We have a
Little
bumper car.
cars. She can maneuver that around anything.
It's like
she
insane.
got in and just figured it out right away.
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, oh, forward, back, forward. Okay.
She's like,
It's
this is in her
wild.
DNA.
Lux is like,
Yeah, Lux
crying,
has 0.
He doesn't
crashing
wanna-
into everything.
He's not gonna be the one.
It's not gonna be Lux. I feel like it's gonna. I'm gonna say it right now. It's not gonna be
So
Lux. It's probably gonna be
cute.
Senna.
Yeah.
And Alessi's just obsessed with like animals, so I feel like she's gonna do something in that.
Cute.
realm.
I can't wait to figure out like what Griffin's gonna do.
I know. I'm like, I've already decided. Well, you know what?
Not race car
He can do.
driving. His
He can do
little
whatever
walker
he wants
just
to
crashes
do.
into
But like,
things.
I'm really hoping that he either loves surfing, skateboarding, or snowboarding, because like I love those sports so much. And if he liked one of them, then we'd have so
Bond.
much fun.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
work on walking. and
Yeah,
then
we're
we
gonna work
can-
on walking first, but we'll get there. What does your day to day look like? Because I know obviously you're a realtor and you guys both do social media like full time. I'm always seeing like you guys posting your stuff. Like, I don't know, what does your day to day look like? I'm so curious.
3 kids
Yeah.
that are little.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
3 little kids.
Well, it's always different.
Yeah, it's always different. We wake up early, 6 a.m.
Yeah, we wake up early. We have our coffee, or like he has coffee and I have something else in the
You don't
morning.
drink coffee?
No. So
Wait, with 3 kids, you don't drink coffee?
I don't need it. I'm a spaz.
Wait, really? You don't need coffee? Wow. Okay.
No, so we have our time in the morning first. Then we get the kids up. We do breakfast with them. I work out every morning. I try to every morning. And
Yeah.
then
Like at
We
like
get-
6?
No,
like 8 probably, or 9 if I take Alessi to school. Then we work. I try to hang out with the kids like when they're awake, and then work again when they're napping. And then we do family time for dinner, and
yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Lauren like has like so many things going on with different brands, and I'm basically full on with the app right now. I would say that's more my full-time job. I kind of put a pause on real estate this year to focus on it, and it's been rewarding, and it's really cool to see other people go on these like dates and like get
Yeah.
their feedback. I loved watching your guys' video about
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
date.
it was so fun.
It looked so cool, and people just ate that up. So it was cool.
Yeah, talk about your app because it's really cool. We've done.
Yeah,
a
we've
date.
been on a
We
surprise
didn't-
date.
we're due for another surprise date.
Yeah, you guys gotta go.
You gotta
Yeah,
go.
explain for our viewers, for people that don't know what Duo is, explain what that app is.
Do you want to go for it? I always do.
It's called Dates on
Okay.
Duo.
Dates on Duo.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
So the app is Dates on Duo, as you guys know. We created it to kind of replicate our experience we had dating on the show. So couples that sign up for the premium membership, they go for dates where neither one of them know what they're doing. Normally it's an activity first, and we like to like put people in situations where they can learn something new about each other, or that challenges them in some way, just to kind of like bring a new dynamic into their relationship. And then the second portion is usually a meal of some kind.
Yeah. So it's free to download. There's like tons of like, we call it date inspiration, and you can swipe kind of like a Tinder feature, like on dates that you like. And there's just like hundreds of dates. We just like release location based dates. So if you're in LA or Phoenix or in Chicago, you'll see like date ideas that are around you. And so we're slowly rolling that out for the
That's
rest of the
cool.
country. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's fun to like, for us on the back end, we can see, because the app asks you like, hey, take a photo in this moment or whatever. So we get to see what the people are doing on the dates. And right now we have 15 date planners they're really good. And these
Whoa.
dates are happening all over the country.
Wow.
And so I go on the back end and I like check out all the photos that they're taking, and it's like so cool to see couples like experiencing new things and having a good time.
Yeah, there's a lot of social media stuff too, and that's my favorite part about it right now. Is just seeing like the reels that they put together of like their dates and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like the logistics behind an app like this had to be like almost a nightmare to figure out because I'm like, it was so for like our experience, like we just got it just said let's heat things up, and then it just had a location, and there was like a little preface. It was like, this is gonna seem sketchy, but Jason will be there, or Justin, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And it was like, just trust us. And so I was like, well, this is literally like a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did pull up. It was a sketchy location. we had no idea, and it was so, we were blowing glass. It was like at like 1,000 degrees. Like, what was it, 1,000?
I didn't know that we could do that. Like, I didn't know that we'd be qualified to like blow glass.
And now we have
But
4 beautiful glass pieces that we
do.
made. It was so,
Yeah.
it was so cool. And you do this all over. Wait, is it globally?
No, all over the US.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
Yeah, so you can download it globally, but the premium feature where we
Okay.
like plan a date for you is just US.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we plan dates like all over the country,
Yeah,
obviously,
Alaska,
and even
Hawaii.
Alaska, which is
Yeah. Wait,
wild.
what are some of the coolest
Whoa.
ones?
Oh my gosh!
Like in Alaska, what do they do in Alaska?
Like dog sledding. Like
Are you
that's,
kidding
like
me?
you could do
Ice fishing.
ice fishing.
That's dope.
What else?
We've done like trapeze dates where you learn how to do trapeze. That was like one that I sent a friend on that I thought that would be cool for him.
Oh yeah, we sent a couple to circus class where they learn how to be in a circus.
Oh, that's
So
One more
cool.
risque one was we sent a couple figure drawing where you draw a nude figure.
Oh,
Wait, like you get naked and then
No,
no,
there's
no,
a naked
someone's
model.
naked and you're drawing them.
Wait, but this was a surprise for both of them?
yeah.
They explicitly said we want the weirdest thing ever.
We're like, we want something really weird.
were they married?
They're like, think
No,
tantric,
they're
and I'm like,
engaged.
okay, these two are freaks. Like, we're gonna send them doing something.
Think what?
They're like tantric.
What is that?
It's
I
like
said the same thing.
It's like a. How do I
I
describe?
don't even know
tantric?
still actually.
Do you want me to Google it so you don't have to come up with your own
Let's
definition?
try it, Arie. Let's hear
It's
it.
about sex.
Sex? Oh my God.
Well, I saw one of
It's
the.
like holding poses and like like holding yourself back from
Oh my
going.
gosh. Oh, wow. They really sent it. They really wanted to go crazy. So you guys were like, bet, we will send you to go draw a naked person.
Yeah, but
on
they
a
wanted
date.
something kind of off the wall, you know.
Yeah.
Something different.
That's
This
hilarious.
is saying it's yoga.
Well,
Yeah,
there is tantric yoga.
Okay,
Okay.
maybe I need to find a different.
That's cool. Whose
Well, I
idea
did
was
see
that?
there was a spicy suggested one we had.
What
We
was
were
that?
like, because we got the app and you have this the
Yeah.
one was go to a sex shop. I was like, Matt.
Wow, we could do that. We've never
Yeah.
been to one.
That would be
The closest I've been to is Victoria's
Finds out
Secret.
we're the most boring people in the world.
Yeah.
whatever's
next.
happening is working because you're always pregnant. So
We gotta knock this off. And we'll be getting an IUD in between.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
so
gosh.
have the app. And you're kind of doing that full time now.
yeah, full time. It's
Well,
fun.
as well as being a dad. Social
Yeah,
media,
like yeah, exactly.
everything else.
I feel like that's like taking up the majority
And
of my
building his
time.
man cave. He's jackhammering every day now.
True.
Wow.
Oh, you have a man cave.
While trying to get a man cave.
Are you allowed in the
One
man
day.
cave?
Am I allowing one?
Are you allowed in it?
Oh.
Is it just for you?
Oh, we haven't
Yeah.
talked about that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
have
I
to
am.
set your
Am I?
boundaries.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
What are you doing with it?
So we have a property. We bought this place a couple years ago and had this barn in the back, but we don't have horses. So I was like, it'd be so sick to make it like dark and moody. Put all my cars in here. Race simulator.
Wait, you have multiple like cars? Are you like a car collector?
Well, I have old Indy cars that I raced, and then I have like a couple cars. Lauren bought me a car, so I'm
What?
putting it in there.
His dad's car.
Yeah, my dad's
car.
race cars. My dad wants a place to like put his race cars.
How many race cars are we talking
He's
about?
got 3,
Okay.
Wow.
and I have 1, and then I have like my high school truck that Lauren loves.
Oh my gosh. That's
She wants me to get rid of this thing so bad.
It's right there.
It's right there. You can see it.
Aw,
There's something
that's
about
right.
your high
Lowrider.
school
It's
car.
a lowrider, so Yeah, it was like the first car that like I felt like I bought new,
Yeah.
and so I think it's sick.
You bought a new car in high school?
No, right after high school.
Oh, okay.
What were you
Matt always
doing?
makes fun of me because I'm like attached to my high school car and
This thing was a
Broke
piece of
down.
crap. It couldn't even make it down like the road.
it was
like,
a
it
Chevy
would break
Malibu.
down all the time.
It couldn't really go up hills very well.
She would like stop. But she
Do you
loved
still
this
have
car.
it?
Like she just
Yeah.
really liked this car.
I had that
As
car
soon as
for
I left
10
for
years.
college, my brother like killed the car.
Oh,
Yeah,
sad.
it couldn't go on highways, so I couldn't take it to college with me. It was that bad. Like literally we couldn't go over like 40, and it was like done.
Yeah.
It was time.
You make fun
Yeah.
of me for that all the time. I love my Chevy Malibu.
Switching the subject. So we also watched another one of your TV shows.
This isn't weird. It was
okay,
airing at the time.
It aired The Traitors.
Yes.
Which service was that on? Did we watch that on
Peacock.
Hulu? Peacock.
Yep.
We got it on. We watched Peacock. I think your brother has Peacock, and we just like
We
he signed
hijacked
in on
it.
our TV. So we're like, we'll watch Traitors on Peacock. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but like
Matt binge watched
we
the
Yeah.
we
last
watched
like 4 episodes.
It's become like very popular.
Oh, it has?
I didn't know. You know, you never know. It's a new show, so you're thinking like, okay, it could gain some popularity, but it's up for like an MVT or MTV movie
People's Choice Award?
People's Choice Awards.
Is that what it is?
No, it's an MTV. I don't know, whatever. A lot of people watched it.
Accolades.
Yeah.
Something.
And I'm
Yeah.
like
An award.
stoked. I was stoked that people enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I love doing it. It was kind of the same feeling of doing The Bachelor though. Like you were kind of in captivity.
Yeah.
Doing reality TV, and it was long hours, but made it to the end, made it to the finale.
Yeah.
And it was an experience.
It
for
was
sure.
a really cool concept. Because wait, this was like season 1 of it, right?
Yeah, so first season, and it's aired in different countries, and it's really worked there. So they brought it to the U.S.
Okay.
And apparently it's been re-upped for season 2, but it'll be different cast.
Okay.
And the game will change a little bit, so somebody can't, I don't know, use the same strategy as this season's winner.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we kind of give a little like
Yeah,
description
so
of the game.
Essentially, like 20 people show up to a castle in Scotland, and 3 people are selected to be traitors. And from that moment forward, the whole group is trying to figure out who the traitors are.
Yeah.
Every night, there's somebody banished by your peers. And if you banish a traitor, that's like a good thing, because at the end, if you are faithful, which is the other side of the coin,
Yeah.
the 17 others, you split the cash at the end. But if there's a traitor amongst you, they get to keep all of it. So the whole thing is like trying to figure out who's being deceptive, and you pick up on little things that you're trying to like grasp for straws because you don't know anything about anybody. So you're just kind of like, you know what? You look a little suspicious over there. Like, I don't like your
Or
face.
they just don't like you. They're like, you're a traitor.
Yeah, like you were, I don't even know. Like the dumbest things came up, and I'm like, okay, sure. As long as it's not me, this guy's going home. You
It
know
was
what I
so
mean?
funny watching as a viewer because there was like one guy in the beginning of your show that was like, I just knew as a viewer that he definitely was not a traitor, but he just like would not stop talking, and everyone
just
on the
looked
show,
so guilty.
everyone on the show was like, this guy has to be a traitor.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
vote him out, and I'm like,
Well, it's kind of cool because like wasn't like half TV person, like people who have been on TV
Yep.
before, and then half are just
Yeah. So I was cast because, they're like, oh, if he could deceive this, the women, 30 women, he could
Yeah.
definitely be a traitor, And it was kind of personalities like that. They had Brandy from the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
They had, who else did they have? Reza from Shaw's.
Wait, there was Brandy, and who was the other like?
Kate Chastain
Yes.
from Below Deck. So there's always Ryan Lochte, the Olympic gold swimmer.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
He was in that scandal where he lied about getting robbed.
I
to
didn't
the
even know
media.
that. See, I didn't know anything about all the other contestants.
Yeah, so-
we literally just watched it because we're like, oh, Arie's on a TV show. Let's watch it. Like we were just like, I
Yeah.
don't know. And
Every person there had something about their backstory that
Really?
made them suspicious.
really,
That's
okay.
cool. I didn't even know
We
that.
had no idea. See, and I don't even understand like reality TV that much because I haven't watched a lot of it. Like I've never been a reality TV person really, but like how is the show different than other shows? Like isn't there like a show called Big Brother or shows where other people vote?
Someone was from
other
Big
people
Brother
off?
on there.
Off?
Couple
There were a
people,
couple
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
I mean, every show has a different concept, I think, and this is kind of an interesting one because it's a competition show, but it's really like a social experiment.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you have to get together. There's no influence from producers. They're just like,
Yeah.
okay, who do you think is deceptive? Like, who don't you trust and why? And you're like, well, I don't trust Abby because she looks kind of funny.
Honestly, Matt would be terrible on this
Dude,
show.
I would suck.
Be like,
I would be
there's
suck
nothing
so
to
bad.
go
Matt
off
is
of.
such a can't lie.
I'm such
Like,
a bad liar.
they'll just come up with the weirdest things, and then like one person says it, and then it like goes through
That's
the whole
what's
group.
interesting. They're
And
like,
you're like-
everyone's convinced then.
Yeah, then-
My favorite was that guy, Quentin. Every single week he would say it's Kate. And no one else would be on his side. He's like, it's Kate.
yeah. I don't know. Some
I
people
just
just
felt-
had it out for each other.
Dude, I just felt so bad. Should we talk about the ending or no? Is that
You can
bad?
talk about it, yeah.
Dude, I just felt so bad for the people at the end that were like so convinced that
Yeah.
they were gonna get all that money, and then like the lady took it at the end.
Yeah, she took
like,
it, yeah.
what's? I just felt horrible. I just. Oh, it
I
made
know
me-
she like backstabbed me, and then also obviously took all the money
Yeah,
because we were like,
Like, come
that was so
on.
dirty.
we were like, we were gonna split it together, and
that
then
was so dirty.
she threw in on the fire, which is like basically to like keep the game going, and I was like, oh no.
Are there parts from these shows that are cut that like you lived and you're like, how the frick did they cut that? Like it's like
Yes.
integral to it,
I was
but it's
so
not.
mad at the end.
But it's not the narrative they want to show, so they're
Yep.
gonna cut sections just to show their narrative, right?
yeah, that's
Always.
very frustrating.
Really?
That always happens.
Really?
It would
Yeah.
be interesting. See, what's cool about it is that, like, as a viewer, you know who the traitors are, but it'd be also interesting if if the viewer didn't know too. I don't even know if that would work though.
Is there anything that you can share? I don't want to get you in legal trouble, but like, is there anything that you can share that was like, this happened at this point, like,
Yeah.
in a show, and it pissed me off because like they didn't show it, like this whole.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So during the Traitors, there was another contestant, Amanda, and she was going through IVF.
Okay.
And she couldn't afford it. And her thing was like, I want to win so I can afford IVF. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. I was like, if I win, I'll pay for your IVF. Like, I'll
Yeah.
pay for it. Like, if we win if we win together, you can have my share. Because
Yeah.
at the time, I was a faithful. So then Arie, who won the game,
Yeah.
she's like, now I'm a traitor, and now like I know I'm probably gonna win. I'm getting close. She's like, what are you gonna use the money for? And I was like, I'll probably pay for Amanda's IVF. Like,
Yeah.
she wasn't on the show at this time. She's like, oh, that's nice. And then we get down to the end. She goes, and then she's like, we had the other two convinced that we were all faithful.
Yeah.
So they were thinking we're all splitting the money. So we go around the fire, and she goes, I want to keep going to banish. And then I was like, well, we're all faithful. She's like, well, it's clear you don't need the money because you have, your house in Hawaii. And
But how would she know this though if you guys don't have your phones, right? Like how do people
because people just know.
They all knew.
They all know.
before.
Okay.
Because that's the bad part about being
One of the TV personalities.
yes, because they watch your YouTube. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, they know everything about you. So she's like, well, you clearly don't need it. And she's like, I'm just gonna put my vote in to banish you because like we need it more. Like I'm a nurse, he's going to be a dad, you know, they're going to be a dad, like to the people we're expecting. And I was like, she did me so dirty because she knew I wasn't going to use that money. You weren't going to
keep it anyway.
I wasn't going to keep it, you know, but I was like, she just wants to win it all. She's getting greedy.
Yeah.
And then they didn't show that whole part. You know?
They didn't show any of that.
No.
That's right. That's right. Because I didn't. Yeah.
Because I feel like that was like so like part of the story.
My gosh.
Yeah, they just skipped over that whole thing.
Yeah.
But then how did they even like?
People were so confused
cut
because
that out?
I quit the game. And then because I was like, I'm like everyone's gonna get me. You know what I mean?
But hold up. Is there any way that you could have told the other two people like banish her, like, or would you get in trouble? Obviously, like, how do they keep you from saying the other contestants, okay, she just screwed me over. Hey, banish her. She's not a faithful. She's a traitor.
You can't say it. It's not against the rules.
Oh, it's against the rules.
If you're a traitor, you can't say like you're a traitor.
Would they go after you like legally? Because like that's like there's a lot of money on the line for the show. So like, could they go after you legally?
How much did they win?
$250,000.
Dang.
That's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah, it's money.
Crazy. That was an exciting ending, though. Honestly,
the next reality show though, Lauren's gonna go on because I want to watch it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Not Traitors.
Now you guys make me want to go on a reality show. Like, even though I'm like, you know what, we could get freaking screwed by a reality show, but now I'm like, this would be
how
kind of
long
cool.
do you have to be gone to film?
We were considering maybe doing Amazing Race. We would love to do that together.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
But we have to be away from the kids for a month, and you can't even like. I don't think you can even FaceTime.
No,
A whole month?
I
Yeah.
would
No shot Abby would do that.
crumble.
We were gone for 3 days on a cruise, and Abby was crumpling for 3 days. I was like, dude, it's 3 days. We'll see.
It was
what we
actually
do.
really sad. Matt goes, I feel like I'm never gonna get you back.
I was like, can we just unplug?
Pregnant.
Welcome being a dad.
I was like, look, dude, like I love our
to share
kids.
forever.
I love our kids so much, but like, can we just like focus on us for 3 days? Like 3 days. 3
Yeah.
days.
I couldn't.
I'm the same way.
I kept looking
hard.
at pictures. I was like, because he started crawling while we were gone.
Oh, that's
3 days.
heartbreaking. That's hard.
Yeah. Watch
I
me
get
cry
it.
about it now.
Don't.
No, it's okay.
No, even for our anniversary trip, we took like a 3-day trip to a different island from Maui, and after 2 days, I'm like, okay, I could go back to them now.
It's hard because it's like you're thinking about them constantly. And
But
so then all of a sudden you're like thinking about them, but you can't see them.
But all you want when you're in it every day is to have that time away.
Yeah, I'm like, give me
It's like-
1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch my
Yeah.
breath. Let me go to the bathroom. Like,
It's hard.
That is the tough part about parenting. I feel like when you're like in the early stages of being a dad or a mom, it's like you may sometimes long for that freedom that you used to have. And you're like, man, I'm like a different version of myself now. Like I wish I could go back to us
For
before
real.
kids. But then like honestly, like things just like evolve and they change and it almost just gets better. So like you're probably feeling like the beginning, you know, like the being a dad for the first year. It's a huge transition for anyone.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
for
it's a
mom and
bigger
dad.
transition to go from 0 to 1 than like 1 to 3 for us, for example.
No,
gosh,
he's
1
like,
to 3.
I wake up in the morning when he wakes up, and then I'm feeding him breakfast, and then it's just like, yeah, like all this time that I used to have for me is just gone.
Yeah.
You know? And it's cool. Like I love him so much, but I'm just like, wow, like that. My life is very different now.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
very, very different.
I sent her this thing on Instagram the other day. I was like,
If you don't have kids, we can't relate.
yeah, it's like if you don't have kids and you can't like get your stuff together and get all your stuff accomplished and your goals and your dreams, like what? Really? You have all the time in the world.
I find like when other
Yeah.
people say they're tired and they don't have kids, you're kind of like,
You're like, you don't even
shut
know.
up. But like I shouldn't be like that. I'm like, okay.
It's so sad but true.
But
But
it's cool though, like how it can give you new perspective.
Yeah.
And while like, I don't know, while you're so busy like being a parent, sometimes it almost like makes you, I don't know, really plan out. Okay, I only have this much time, so I need to get this
Yes.
done.
Nap time
And-
is
more
like,
efficient.
turn it on.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
one of those
yeah.
things where it's like you go from like not doing as much to doing way more, but then you're more productive, I guess, because you're busy. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the same way.
We're the same way. We are
Yeah.
like, we get so much done in a day, and it's like we have way less time than
Yeah.
I used to be late to everything. And now I can get ready in like 15 minutes.
We're
I
still
know.
late to everything.
Okay, yeah, we're still working on that.
We're so
Wait,
bad.
she's still late. You're
We're
still
so
late
bad.
everywhere.
Not because I'm getting ready,
That's true.
because I'm optimistic about time.
How do you guys like being content creators? Like, when did you decide, okay, we've been on TV shows. Maybe
Yeah.
we should just like make our own show. Like, post on social media and see how that goes. Like, when did you guys decide that?
I feel like it wasn't really ever a decision that we made. I feel like we were kind of thrust into it.
Really?
So like, yeah, because at the end of the show, there's
People are so
many
curious.
eyes on us.
Yeah.
I think honestly, we did it not really realizing we were doing it, but we wanted to tell our story after we saw how the show played out.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, they didn't show any of our relationship. They didn't show my personality at all. And I'm like, we kind of want to have our own narrative. So we just started like showing people what we were doing. And we were like, I don't know, it was just funny. Like at the time we weren't really thinking of it this way, but we were kind of hoping people would come around and like just see who we were for who we are.
Yeah.
Instead of us on the show, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's very different.
And how do you like that? Does it feel good to have like control of the narrative?
Yeah.
It's
you
much
tell?
nicer to have control.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are like, oh man, I just like never knew that side of you. It was like so cool to see your family and your dynamic and how you guys parent.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's totally fun. And we love looking back at like old YouTube videos because like we document, you know, just family stuff and like
Yeah.
big milestones. And it's like so fun to go look back at when Alessi was like just first walking or and, like
So
capturing that stuff on film is like, you know, I think when you are a content creator, you're so used to like getting your phone out, your camera out and like getting a moment, you know, and I think since we do it every day, we can still be in the moment and still capture it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people struggle with, oh, I don't want to put my phone out because I want to be like in the moment.
Yeah.
But I think the more you do it, I feel like you can do both.
Yeah.
And it's still fun to watch all those videos back.
Yeah, that's true.
Now that you're parents, it's funny. I was talking to Arie before the podcast. I was like, is there anything that I should like bring up or anything that like I shouldn't bring up? And he mentioned some sort of like, he mentioned something that happened with, I guess, another big podcast a couple years ago.
Oh my gosh. Wait, is this what you said? Don't bring up?
No,
Are you bringing it up?
I said
I'm bringing it up. I'm
Matt?
sorry.
I said if you want to get Lauren fired up, bring up this.
So he mentioned that like Call Her Daddy had like said some like just I mean they had an episode. This is like 5 years ago, right?
Why did you even mention that?
They
trouble.
Because
okay.
I want to call them out because it's
We're
BS.
calling-
We've never
Oh,
talked
you
about
want-
it.
calling them out right
We're
now.
calling them out.
Calling them out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
What happened?
So can we
so
explain what happened? Because look, okay, I'm sure they probably forgot they even had this on their show 5 years ago or
Probably.
4 years ago, whenever this was. But essentially, from what I gathered from what Arie told me, you guys were pregnant with Alessi, and you guys, I think Arie had been like doing these like silly, cute videos where you're like talking as if you're Alessi, and
No, it was just,
break
Yeah,
it
it
down.
was just a
captions.
caption.
Oh, it was a caption.
It was like a bump photo, and then he would do like we would like alternate every other week where we'd write
Okay.
the caption from Baby Alessi
Oh,
or
cute.
Baby Lion Dyke at the time. So we
Aw.
would kind of be like, okay, today we're the size of a watermelon. Good, because like I love watermelon. It was just like stupid
dumb,
things like
rhymey
that.
kind
Like
of
your
things.
book.
Yeah,
exactly.
just-
That's
that's
where
where
my
the
book
inspiration
came. That's
came
where
from.
the
That's where the
inspiration
idea for the book came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we would do that every week and just like update people on the status of like what happened in our lives with the pregnancy every
Okay.
week. And they kind of did it after she was born though. They didn't do it while
because
we were pregnant.
continued her page and like of baby pictures of her like we do it every week. Be like, hey, I was like first week
Like,
on Earth.
This
It's like,
week we
sweet.
walked for the first time, and you know,
Cute.
like things like that. And they decided that it would be really funny to make fun of Baby Lion Dyke or Baby Alessi on
What?
the podcast. And they were
What?
I don't remember what it was because it's so long ago, but I was really pissed because they would talk about her, and then they would say stuff about like her being on a stripper pole or like
What?
there would be like the next sentence would be about like BJs and just like really inappropriate things. And
Yeah.
I'm like, the people
Like,
that
this
are
girl was
listening
so
to
ratchet,
this,
you know?
You're
the-
like, this is a baby.
classless. The person, like the people that are listening to it, I'm like, they're not parents probably, and like if they were, they would be really disturbed by a baby
Gosh.
being mentioned next to another sentiment like that.
No, that would make me.
Yeah.
I was like,
Was this
not
a
eat
guest on the show?
No,
No,
this is the host.
They
This
do it
is a
every week.
weekly thing.
every week. They're like,
Oh,
Baby
weekly.
Lion, Baby Alessi.
Oh, they
this
made it
week."
like at every episode.
It was
thing?
like a
A while.
segment in their
And they used your name.
yes, the
Baby
Alessi's.
Alessi.
Wait, is this the current host of Call Her Daddy or the
yeah,
old host?
her and the other one together.
Oh, that's so inappropriate.
I know,
So
So
anyway,
disappointing.
he was like, "Don't do anything about it." I was about to hire a lawyer.
I wasn't
and
gonna bring
go after
attention to
them.
it because I didn't want it to like grow
Yeah.
even more.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like in a weird, like sexualizing your child.
And honestly,
was
they
just
should
like-
be in big trouble for doing that. It's
Yeah.
not okay. But I never said anything because he's like, if you do something about it publicly, it's gonna make it
That's
bigger.
always the fear. You're like, are you gonna feed the fire?
Right.
Yeah,
Am
I'm
I
like,
gonna draw eyes to
is this
it?
what they want? Honestly, do they want to have like a public feud with me or something? So I was like, all right, I won't pay any attention to it. But
We felt
be
that
hard.
we felt that way too. I don't want to get too into it.
It's too recent.
But like the feuds on
Matt Howard.
Sorry. Okay. Should I not even talk
Actually,
about
yeah,
it?
no.
wait, I'm curious. You tell me later. Yeah,
Like,
I feel
it's one
like
thing
you
to
could
talk
say
about us.
yes.
right,
Whatever.
exactly.
But your baby,
I feel that way too.
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Come
no.
make fun of me, but don't talk about my daughter.
That's
Yeah.
where like it drew the line for us. But it was like
100%.
a weekly segment. It was so
God.
weird.
I
That's
think I actually
disgusting.
did meet with a lawyer.
Really?
And then he was like, don't do it. He's like, what was it? Barstool Sports is like the whatever behind it.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was like, they get cease and desist letters all the time and they post them and make fun of them.
oh, really?
I'm like,
Yeah, I probably would have
okay.
made it worse, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, hopefully this will blow over.
Dang.
People still remember though, obviously. They
That
asked
is the
me.
most infuriating thing when like you have to wait, like when you want something to blow over, but it's just like you're just like living through it.
Waiting it out. But that's hard because it was like a reoccurring thing. It wasn't
like
like
our-
it was.
every week.
Yeah.
I'm
And I feel like
when
our
is this gonna
skin is
die?
like way tougher too. I feel like that were time.
You guys have to be
Well,
so
Anna
tough.
was postpartum. I just had a baby.
Oh
Gosh.
gosh, no one can mess with a post.
You guys must be some of the toughest people out there. Like after going through reality TV where they can just do anything to you, like you guys must be so tough. Okay, actually, here's a good question. How do you feel about? I've always been told all publicity is good publicity, but then you go through something like that and you're
No.
like, this sucks, right?
Say
One time
no.
I did April Fool's joke. Did not go over well.
But then he did it again. I don't know why.
Wait, what did you
Twice.
do?
2 really bad ones.
Maybe 3 times.
Wait, what happened?
The first time
No, you
I
did do it 3 times.
no.
Yes, you did. You taunted them again, and you like did a video of bread in the oven. You're like, oh, just
I was
kidding."
making.
It was a really bad.
It was bad.
pregnancy April Fool's
The
joke.
first one was like a pregnancy one. You know,
Okay.
like she had ate a lot that night. She can push out her belly. So
You were this was a prank on you or on your
no,
audience?
just on
On
our
the
audience.
audience.
Okay.
Very
April
bad.
Fools.
Don't do it. Don't ever.
Wait, why
don't-
were they? Oh, because you
Fake
weren't actually
pregnancy.
pregnant.
Look,
there was no
yeah.
pregnancy.
This is
pregnancy.
before Alessi. This is before any of my friends
Oh,
had
okay.
fertility
Oh.
struggles. Like I learned really quickly that a pregnancy joke is not good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Just never do it.
we were
that makes
very,
sense.
very new.
To
Yeah.
social media,
social
no new to just being like that was like highly
Yeah.
insensitive. So I'm just saying that was bad.
No,
that
that's
was
true.
bad press that I
You
got.
That was bad. Oh, you got like a bunch
Very
of
bad press. on that,
Really?
yeah.
Oh
Okay.
shoot!
Yeah.
And it wasn't good. Like
No.
you
No.
feel like that was not
I feel like I
helpful.
could have
I feel
done
like we
without
made a-
all that.
I feel like I could have been okay without all of it.
No, because like when we've gotten hate, like people be like, "Well, bad publicity is good publicity." I'm like, I don't freaking think it is. Like this sucks, dude. This really sucks.
Yeah. I feel like your world, like you guys are obviously we're not very big on TikTok. We maybe do a TikTok once like a month. I don't even know. But
Yeah,
I
we
feel like
always
on
forget
TikTok
those.
things spread like so fast.
That
Yeah,
is
they
true.
do.
It's
So
the most
if you-
negative one.
Negative
You think?
stuff on there goes like way quick.
Well, we
It's
have
stitches and
it's
duets.
stitches and duets. You got to take those off.
Yeah,
Oh.
because anybody can just take a 3-second
Wait, now
clip
people
of you.
are gonna hear us say this and they're like, "Oh, they don't have that on. We're gonna screen record it."
No, we don't have. No.
Oh, we're gonna
But
take
no,
it
no,
off.
no. The thing is, it makes it so easy because someone can, in 1 minute, someone can go, ding, I want this 3-second clip of Matt and Abby saying this, and then they can just go on a rant. And then boom, post it. Like it takes them 1 minute to do
Yeah.
it. When if you want to screen record, you have to go through all these steps to screen record and make your video and put it in an editing software. And that probably takes 30 minutes.
So
but
TikTok makes it easy.
and make
for
it really
people.
easy for people to hate on other people.
I got you.
There's
Yeah.
more hoops on other platforms. You'd have to like download it and then edit it.
Yeah.
It can't all happen in the app as much.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also think the algorithm makes drama thrive, like in a way.
Oh yeah.
Because of,
Oh, and like the search bar.
yes, that is an issue.
That's
for-
ridiculous.
If you had one piece of advice to give to somebody that just found out that they were expecting twins, what would you give them?
I'll let you take this one.
Is that a tough question?
No, I mean, let me think about it first.
I think. Oh man, there's just nothing to prepare you.
Were you? Yeah, that's gotta be such a wild moment.
I would just say,
Don't be afraid to get help.
honestly, I would say the biggest tip when you have twins is to get them both on the same schedule. And I feel like that's the one thing that every twin mom told me. And I was like, okay, like, sure. Like, I have Alessi on a schedule. But the important thing is to, if one baby wakes up to eat, you wake the other baby up to eat.
Oh.
And that is the only way you'll stay sane, because if you don't, they will alternate all day and night. And you'll never sleep and you'll never get a break. So I would say that is my biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, we live and die by the schedule.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially in the beginning. It was like we had a chart. It was like
Yeah, we had a whole binder. We would
Yeah.
document every diaper, every bottle,
Wow.
every nap, everything.
That was
Yeah.
survival.
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you guys do sleep training with?
We did.
Do you guys do taking care of babies?
we did. Yeah.
Okay.
Taking care of babies. Yeah.
We did that too.
She's
Recently with
great.
Griffin. Yeah, she was good. Griffin is sleeping great.
I fought it for so long.
So Abby, it was
Perfect.
funny.
You have to.
Abby just didn't like. She couldn't like let Griffin cry for even like 30 seconds.
well, here's
Like,
the
it
thing.
broke
I
her
was
heart.
listening to social media more than I was listening to like
Doctors
research.
and research. Yeah.
And so then I was like, this is evil.
Well, like,
and then I was
yeah.
like, he's not happy either way. Like, he's way more happier now. I put him down in his crib. He's like smiling up at me.
Well, you can vouch for me. Like when Griffin would cry, the second I would sprint to his room and go get him in the
Yeah.
beginning. And then as I learned that like, no, you have to like let them like figure out like to grab their binky, put it back in their mouth. And so I was like, okay, maybe we let him cry like a minute or two on his own to see if he can figure it out. And there'd be times where he wouldn't, and there'd be times that he would. But I was trying to. We kind of like tried to do the Ferber method at first, and then eventually it was like, oh, well, we just did taking
we
care of
didn't
babies.
stick to it. We just
didn't
kept,
stick to the
I kept
Ferber method
caving.
because Abby was caving. But with the Ferber method, with the taking care of babies, because she has all this research and facts to back up why you're doing what you're
feels
doing.
loving. It doesn't feel like you're
Yeah, you know
neglecting
it's
your
like
child.
Right.
yeah, it's you
Yeah.
know that you're helping your child.
good
and now,
balance.
Now he sleeps so good, so we're
So
on the
we're
same
becoming
page.
schedule people too.
No,
Yeah.
we are.
2 months later.
And we used to make fun of people like you guys. We'd be like, people keeping their kid on a
Schedules.
schedule. Like, what's up with it? That's so stupid. Like, you don't need a
Now we're
schedule.
like,
we have
I'm
a
so
schedule.
sorry.
now.
Yeah.
Can we work around
Yeah.
his second nap? But I was,
I mean, it'd be so bad to the point where my brother would be like, well, we're going to have a little birthday party, for,
Oh yeah, we'd have to be like.
be
we
like,
can't come.
sorry, it's at 1:30. They're down for a nap at that time.
say, rework your birthday party and then we'll talk.
Gosh. I feel like it's so funny because we've known you guys now for like a little over a year, and we've like never gotten a chance to just like sit down like
I
this and
know.
talk. So this has been so much fun. But like, is there anything else that you like want to share as we like wrap things up? I don't know. Like, I still have a million questions for you. I've really enjoyed this. I feel like you answered so many questions about reality TV for me. But yeah, any like other things you wanted to
I don't know.
talk
We
about?
got to get you guys on a TV show. That'd be cool.
I'm in. If you guys can get us on a TV show, we would so do it.
Yeah, we're gonna pull all the strings.
That'd be so much fun, you guys.
We could just make our own. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah,
they-
we could do that too.
Create our own TV show.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Easy.
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, look, we got the lights. We got 4
Yeah, we're
freaking
set up.
cameras.
I know
up.
Matt's got all the setup covered.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun. I still can't believe like I mentioned like 6 different like things that you guys do, and I
Well,
just
I briefly mentioned your book, which we should actually
yeah,
give a
you're an
shout out.
author too. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like
thank you.
you're a freaking race car driver, author, real estate agent, social media
It's
personality.
really cute, and we
Re-
need to get it. Why do we not have it
I
for
wasn't
Griffin?
done.
Wait,
I wasn't
just-
done.
we
Reality
need to give
TV
you one.
personality.
Yeah, well, you can go home.
Today.
with
I'm
one.
gonna purchase a book
Yes,
on my own. Thank you.
we'll give you there's
We'll
one
give
right
you
there.
one.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
book is Baby Shelley, and it's only available on my website. I need to get it on Amazon.
Oh, you got to get it on Amazon.
I really
Yeah,
do.
You do.
I
Took a
really
backseat
do.
to the app.
Yes, they came out kind of at the same time, and so I've been
It's-
more focused on that.
It's so cute though. So it's like telling your child that they're gonna get a sibling,
Exactly. Yeah.
but it's like from the baby's perspective,
Right.
in the
Right.
womb.
Yep.
Yeah.
So cute,
Yep.
Yeah.
It is cute. He did a good job.
and it has
Thank you.
the little.
Yeah, it's so funny. I wrote it, and then as Alessi's gotten older, I've kind of figured out what she likes, and I'm like, keep it short for the parents because we don't want to read a lot. Flaps, kids love flaps. Let's do that. You know what I mean?
Flaps.
And it
Yeah.
just kind of evolved. But
Cute.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a really cute concept.
Well, you guys should check out Arie's book. Definitely download their app, Dates on Duo. So cool. I'm so glad we
We need to
got
plan
to
our next surprise
Yeah,
date.
we got to plan
Or
our
we
next
don't plan
surprise
it.
date.
We need to book it.
But I
Yes.
feel like we could talk to you guys for hours. But thank you for being on the podcast. And who knows, maybe we'll have you guys on again in the future.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for
It's
having
been a lot
us.
of fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It really does so much for us, as well as leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That just like really helps out the podcast. So we love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. And as always, 3, 2, 1. Peace out.
Peace out, dude.